Jai Hind, dear students. I'm Dr. Preeti Mittal, and today we are going to complete our life process chapter, covering all these small topics from the chapter that we have missed out in the previous videos. So, without wasting any time, let's start with this. First question that can come in your exam is, why is diffusion insufficient to fulfill the requirement of oxygen in case of multicellular organisms like human beings? So, as you all know, diffusion is a very slow process. If the body surface is exposed to the environment, then the diffusion can help in the transport of gases. For example, in plants, diffusion is a process that is helping out in the exchange of gases. But plants' body surface is all exposed to the environment, so it's possible in them to just depend on diffusion. But in case of human beings, in case of higher animals, the body surface is not totally exposed to the environment, and so we cannot just rely on the process of diffusion for the exchange of gases, for the exchange of material between the environment and our body. Okay, so that is the reason we can't rely on diffusion. And so for transport of gases, we have hemoglobin that is helping in the transport of oxygen, and carbon dioxide gets dissolved in the blood plasma and then it is transported in our body. Next is nutrition in fungi. Yeah, it's important. That can come as a 1 mark question. That what is the mode of nutrition in fungi, yeast, or bread mold? So all these are fungus, and they just perform the nutrition in a very interesting way. What we do is first we take in the food and then we digest it. But what these organisms do is that they first secrete some digestive juices in the food. They digest that, they break the food into smaller particles, and then they absorb the digested food. They absorb the nutrients from them. Okay, so this is how they are just taking their nutrition. Next is parasitic mode of nutrition. What is parasitic mode of nutrition? Taking prepared food from the host is known as parasitic mode of nutrition. This is performed by, one example is mosquito, that you are all familiar with. So what mosquito do is, we have prepared the nutrition, let's send it into the blood. The mosquito is directly going to suck our blood. So it is taking the prepared nutrition directly from our body. Not only mosquito, lice, ticks. What is lice? The In the hair some insects grow, that in Hindi we call it as jung. So lice, ticks, mosquitoes, these are the examples of leech. These are the examples of parasitic organisms which perform the parasitic mode of nutrition. Apart from that, in plants also, Cuscuta. Cuscuta, that is in Hindi known as Amar Bel, that is a parasitic plant that is not having the green pigment chlorophyll, so it cannot perform the photosynthesis. It just it's like has its tendrils which just wind around the support, and they take the prepared nutrition from the plant on which it's growing. It's a creeper. Next is, how is the nutrition going on in amoeba? Okay, so in amoeba, what happens? The amoeba forms a pseudopodia. The amoeba is a unicellular organism which can just change its shape, and it extends the pseudopodia, means it can change the body surface shape into any. So if there is any food, so it will extend the pseudopodia around it. It will extend its body around that food material, and it will just encircle that food material. And then what will happen, that the amoeba is going to form a food vacuole inside which this food will be there. Okay, remember, it forms a food vacuole for the digestion of the food. Once the food is there inside the body, then it will digest the food and just leave the waste material there itself, and it will just go on. It will just leave that food material, whatever waste was there after digestion, whatever waste is left, that it will be excreting out from the body surface itself, and it will be continuing to move wherever it was moving. Okay, so this is the mode of nutrition in amoeba. So it's ingesting the food, it's extending the pseudopodia around the food. It is preparing a food vacuole. Remember, food vacuole, very important. So after digestion, it is going to just leave the excretory material there and move on. So that is a mode of nutrition in amoeba. Next is about artificial kidney. Kidney is also known as hemodialysis. Our kidney performs the function of filtration of blood. Whatever nitrogenous waste is there in our blood, that is removed by our kidney. But in case the kidney is not working properly, there is kidney failure. In that case, what is done is the use of artificial kidney or hemodialysis. Artificial kidney, like how it's going to perform the function, artificial kidney is like a machine and that will perform the filtration of blood. So this the artificial kidney is having a fluid that is known as dialyzer fluid. The blood from a patient is passed through this dialyzer machine. Blood from the patient is collected and it's made to pass through the dialyzer machine. Now, in this dialyzer machine, there is a tube-like structure through which the patient's blood is going to pass. And this tube-like structure through which the blood is passing, that is surrounded by a dialyzer fluid. What is important is this dialyzer fluid is having the same osmotic pressure as that of blood. So whatever nitrogenous waste is there, that will be moving from the blood into the dialyzer fluid. But along with the nitrogenous waste, some useful materials also comes into that. And what happens is that whatever blood is now passed on, that will be a purified blood, and that will be made to re-enter into the blood capillaries or the blood vessels of the human being from which the blood was taken. So it is made to re-enter the patient's body. Now the blood that is sent is free from nitrogenous waste. That is the benefit of this machine. So it's free from nitrogenous waste. But the only drawback of this process is that there is no reabsorption part. You all know that in human beings, when the kidneys are performing the process of filtration of blood, they reabsorb the useful material. Approximately 180 liters of filtrate is formed daily by human kidney, and out of that only 2 to 3 liters is excreted out. Rest all it's reabsorbed by the body. But this reabsorption process is missing in this artificial kidney or dialyzer machine. But it is a need when the person's kidney is not working, then the person has to undergo dialysis. Next is excretion in plants. That can come as 2 marks question. So how the plants are performing the excretion? In plants, whatever oxygen is produced during the process of photosynthesis, that is a waste. But that oxygen is used up for the process of respiration. Some part of that is excreted out through the stomata, and some part of that oxygen is used as a raw material for the process of respiration. Similarly, during the process of respiration, the carbon dioxide that is produced is used as a raw material for the process of photosynthesis. That is the first point. Second is that gums, resins that are produced by the plants, that is actually the waste material for the plants. So that is excreted out of the plants in the form of gums and resins. Third is that some of the waste from the plants is excreted into the neighboring soil. So the plants excrete some of their waste into the soil as well. That is a waste for the plants, but it's good for the maybe good for some other plants. So it is not going to damage the soil. It's good for the soil. Next is that the plants store their waste in the vacuole also. The plant cell have a big vacuole that you have studied in 9th standard. So that vacuole is the storage part of the waste material for the plants. So the plants are going to store their waste in the vacuole. When the leaves are going to be shed off, then along with the leaves, along with that vacuole, the waste from the plants will also be removed. The plants also store some of their waste in their dead tissues, because in plants a lot of dead tissues are there. So some of the waste of the plants are also stored in the dead tissues, and by all these means the plants are able to perform the process of excretion. Fine. Now coming up to organ donation. Why is organ donation required? What's organ donation? Organ donation means that donating the organs of one person to another person. The person who is giving the organs is known as a donor, and the person who is taking the organs is known as a recipient. This organ donation is a very noble cause that can help to a person to survive, or that can even change a person's life. The person may be not able to survive without this organ transplantation. So that could be really very beneficial for some person. This organ donation could be performed by a living person also. For example, we have two kidneys, so one of the kidney could be donated by a person to another person. Apart from that, a part of lungs, a part of liver also. We have just one liver only, na? But a part of that liver also could be donated from one person to another. And liver has a remarkable thing that it can regenerate. That is a remarkable capability of the liver to regenerate. So even if the person donates a part of the liver, it's seen that the liver regenerates itself. So these are the some organs that could be donated by a person. Even some tissues could be donated from one person to another. But these organs, what we have discussed, is that could be donated by a living person also. There are some other organs that could be donated only by a dead person or a brain dead person. A brain dead person is one which is just about to die. The doctor has declared that the person has brain dead, but still the circulation and respiration could be maintained by um, ventilator. You must have heard now that sometimes the people is on ventilator. So in case the person is brain dead, if the person is moved out of the ventilator, the person is not will not be able to survive. So in case the family wants the organs to be donated, or if the person has willfully given the consent that after my death I want to give my organs for donation, then the organs that could be donated from a dead person or from a brain dead person includes the cornea, that is in the eyes. So that could be donated even up to 4 to 6 hours after the death of the person. Then comes the heart, intestine, pancreas. Apart from that, kidney, liver, lungs, all these also could be transplanted from one person to another. Even bone marrow. So these are the parts that could be donated from one person to another person. So it's really a very noble cause to just give life to someone else even after your death. So that's all we have covered, each and every topic from each and every chapter. So just keep on revising everything very well. Good luck everyone, and good day everyone.